Most people have a pretty clear idea of what's good for them and what's not. We all want to eat healthily, get plenty of exercise, and not give in to bad habits. But it's not always that easy, especially when at work. You can probably remember a time when you grabbed a chocolate bar from the vending machine, even though you knew an apple was better for you. Why do we so often make decisions that aren't really the best choices for us? When we're busy at work, it can be easy to prioritize workload over well-being, and you might feel like it's difficult to maintain a healthy lifestyle when on the job. This course is here to help. Most of our waking hours are spent in the workplace, so what we do during those hours has a big impact on our overall health. So let's focus on some of the daily choices you can make that can help your work life be happier, healthier, and more productive. You spend all your working day sitting at your desk before jumping in the car for the commute home, collapse on the couch, and relax for the rest of the evening. Does this sound familiar? If it does, you could be putting your health at risk. Physical inactivity has long been linked to a range of health conditions, and emerging research shows that sitting for long periods of time doesn't just lead to a bigger waistline, but can result in some really serious illnesses. If you're thinking, that's okay, I go to the gym after work or on my lunch break, then you may be in for a surprise. Research has shown that going to the gym after work or during your lunch does not completely counteract the effects of a sedentary workday. But fear not. The good news is that movement throughout the day can help, even if the movements are minor. You can squeeze in extra activity during your day. You just need to think about it differently. Let's now look at some suggestions to get you thinking about how you can be more active whilst at work. Do you find yourself at the vending machine more than at the salad bar in the cafeteria? If so, this section will offer a few tips to help you get back on track. We consume at least a third of our daily calorie intake whilst at work, and typically we like to eat at our desks. One of the biggest drawbacks to eating at your desk is that you're not focused on your food. Instead, you're sending an email, answering the phone, or shuffling paper. The perfect recipe for overeating. Eating at your desk encourages mindless overeating and increases the sedentary time spent sitting down. On top of that, dining at your desk can create a field day for bacteria. On average, your desk is 400 times dirtier than your toilet. So it's clearly time to find a new place to dine. Let's look at some tips for eating healthy whilst at work. It's a familiar sight. Outside an office, a group of workers gather in the smoking area for a cigarette break. Smoking remains a common workplace habit. Employees from all occupations smoke, and in fact, around 1 billion people use tobacco worldwide. Far from the harmless office break it's sometimes perceived as, smoking kills up to half its users, which results in around 6 million smoking-related deaths each year. If you're a smoker, it's really important to consider why you smoke and start to think about quitting. Giving up smoking is never easy, but it's the most important thing you can do to look after your health, and the good news is there is plenty of help available. This next section will cover some simple steps you can follow. Say some under-the-weather person at your workplace coughed into their palm and then touched a doorknob. Beginning with that one contaminated object, how long would it take for the virus to run rampant through the building? Would it be a day? 8 hours? The answer is frighteningly quick. From the instant those unsanitary fingers touch the knob, it could be just 2 to 4 hours before the contamination has spread to 60% of surfaces, as well as your co-workers. Wherever you're working, maintaining workplace hygiene is a must. Before you run off to wash your hands, let's take a look at some simple ways you can keep your own workplace clean and hygienic, and avoid those germs. Mental well-being can take many different forms, but a useful description is feeling good and functioning well. Lots of factors influence our well-being, and how we feel at work is a big part of it. Evidence shows that the actions we take and the way we think have the biggest impact on our well-being. So it can help to think about being well as something you do rather than something you are. The more you put in, the more you are likely to get out. No one can give well-being to you. It's you who has to take action. The good news is, evidence suggests there are 5 simple steps we can all take to improve our mental well-being. Let's have a look at each one with an open mind, and you can try them out and judge the results for yourself. You now have the tools and information to make some simple adjustments that will help you break any bad work routines and start enjoying a healthy life at work. However, we do recognize that sometimes factors specific to your workplace or even outside work that affect your ability to do your job well can lead to physical and mental health concerns. The best thing you can do is talk to somebody early on, be it your manager, colleague or HR department, and get the support you need. The health and well-being policy is in place to protect and support you whilst at work. So, why not set some time aside to read and understand the policy? Be active, be healthy, and be happy at work.